So let's take a closer look at the Sportful Fiandre NoRain bib short. This is basically a thermal bib short which is designed for spring and autumn conditions. It's designed to keep you a little bit warmer than a regular lycra short, and that's because on the inside of the material here we've got something which is quite fleecy, sometimes called a roubaix type fabric, and that will keep you a little bit warmer in cooler conditions. This isn't designed for winter, but you know, when the conditions get cooler, around 10 degrees or a little bit lower, it will keep you warmer basically. Now what's different about this short compared to other thermal shorts is that it has a treatment applied to the fabric. This is regular lycra, but it has something called a NoRain treatment on the outside. Not designed to be waterproof, but it is designed that if you get caught in a shower and it rains, it will bead up on the surface and then it will run off. Over a long period of time or in a serious deluge, it will absorb the water, but it is designed to keep you more comfortable and drier if you do get caught out in a shower. Now up top here we've got a mesh yoke and shoulder straps, and that's designed to breathe really well, so that if you are pushing and putting in some effort and you've got a base layer underneath and you've got another layer on top, it will still breathe. On the legs here we've got some pretty thick silicone leg grippers, lots of silicone dots on there which will keep hold of your legs and keep hold of your leg or knee warmers as well. The other thing we've got is some reflective detailing here. On the inside we've got Sportful's Body Pro seat pad. Now this is quite thick, and they call it their long distance seat pad, designed to keep you comfortable over long distance riding, and it's got different thicknesses across the seat pad. I've also got here a Castelli Nanoflex bib tight as well. Now the material here between the Nanoflex and the NoRain is practically identical. It's same thickness, same weight, both fleece lined, and on the exterior they look exactly the same as well. Now Castelli is kind of the premium brand, but Sportful is the sister brand of Castelli. What this means is that it is possible, I think, to be able to get a good bib tight with some rain treatment on the top, very, very comfortable for a slightly lower price than the Castelli brand. So one of the reasons I bought the NoRain bib shorts is exactly for weather conditions like this today actually. So it's about 5.5 degrees, it's pretty wet, and as you can see, the shorts, the water is just beading up really nicely on the shorts, and that's because of the water repellent treatment on the shorts. The shorts are also nice and warm, so although it's only 5.5 degrees, quite windy, quite wet, my legs are nice and dry. It's your typical early spring day today. Today is dry, so I'm not wearing the shorts to keep me drier today. I'm wearing them to keep me a little bit warmer, because although it's early spring, it's only about 9 degrees. I'm helped today by a pair of leg warmers as well, but so far I'm nice and warm actually in these shorts. They're keeping me well insulated and protected from the wind, which is great. I'm also on quite a slow training ride today, so I've got the potential to be a little bit cooler. Perhaps if I was working a bit harder, I'd be warmer still. So the fact that I'm going nice and steady and it's early spring, these shorts are nice and warm. How comfortable are these shorts? Well, they've got probably the thickest seat pad of any of the bib shorts or bib tights that I own. Sportful described the pad as their long distance seat pad. I think it's called the Body Fit Pro. I haven't ridden these shorts over a century ride or anything like that yet. Most of the rides I tend to do this time of year, being late winter, early spring, tend to be around 50 miles in distance, something like that. But so far over those rides they've been comfortable. One thing I will say is that this time of year, again, my training rides tend to be slower, and when I'm going slower and putting in less effort, I do feel more discomfort. I tend to notice any pain or anything a little bit more than if I'm putting in solid efforts. And actually, so over those longer rides that have been slow and steady, I haven't really felt any significant discomfort. So on the comfort rating, I think they're right up there. Actually, they rate pretty highly. Here's my conclusion on the bib shorts. The reason for buying them is that I wanted some shorts that would work across a range of conditions. I wanted the flexibility to be able to use them in dry conditions, wet conditions, cold, slightly warmer, you name it. The benefit of wearing shorts is that you can use them with knee warmers or with leg warmers. Whereas if you're just wearing bib tights and you go out in them and suddenly it warms up, you might get a bit too warm and you've got no opportunity to try and kind of change that and adapt to the temperature. Similarly, you might go out in bib knickers, the 3/4 length, and you might be too cold in them because the conditions change, it gets wet, whatever. So I'm pleased to say the shorts do that for me. It's kind of like wearing a Gabba jersey that so many people will wear these days. It's a jersey, but it's got some wind and rain protection to keep you dry and warm across a range of conditions. If you can apply that principle to the top half, why wouldn't you use the same logic on the bottom half? So far the shorts have definitely been comfortable. It's a great seat pad in there. They've kept me warm, and they've even kept me warm when I've been out in wet conditions and there's wind blowing on wet legs as well. They are shower resistant, they're keeping the rain off, and they also offer a saving over more expensive versions, for example those from Castelli. So I can pretty much see these shorts becoming a staple piece of gear for me actually, and yeah, I can recommend them.